Good afternoon. It's May 15th. It's Friday. And this gives you a pretty good snapshot of what we were working with today. Um, we traded down in the overnight and then we went sideways for, well, actually, we traded down yesterday. And in the overnight, we pretty much went sideways till about 10 or 11 o'clock this morning before another sell off. So let me drag this over. I'll look at oh wait, this is the 2700 tick chart. All right, so this is the chart we'll take a look at, see what trades we're working with, but really um really mostly working with a range. And eventually I had my lows right here based off these two lows, but eventually you're going to want to drag it down there. So let's see. I mean, let's do that, and then let's just draw a secondary level of support. Okay. So the bias has obviously been up. We're overdue for some sort of correction. Um, but you can see this sort of broad bull channel that I had drawn, and then I drew a measured move. And you can see when we broke out two times, we came back and tested that measured move. So it makes sense that today it looks like we pretty much tested that measured move again. And so if you see all that, what's the low here? 7409, around 7400. That gives you information that, okay, we're pretty close to that level of support. So really, that didn't happen until after the market closed. But when you get down here, what I was doing was I was buying one contract. And that's probably, if you're going to buy, that's probably what you want to think about, because the bias for the day is down. And so you're probably not awake here, but maybe you buy that double bottom. But look, we broke above the EMA. We created a gap above the EMA. So I like this, and I went long here. That's why we have this box. And when it started to form higher lows, I added to my position and took profits around the midline of this range here. So I think this is a great place to get long. I don't think this is really, I mean, look at how low risk this is. So I'm gonna draw that now. I mean, I'm not saying this is a good market to go short. It's clearly not, but we are so overdue for something. And even now, this is not a strong bear bar. This is not convincing. The tail on the bottom is significant. The body is the first large body we've had since uh, March 27th. But there's a tail on the bottom, so I I'm not saying it's a great time to go short, but I mean I think it's time to start thinking about it. On days like today, it's time to start thinking about it, I think. And like you get this broad bear channel down here. Uh, so look, this looks like a nice long right here. Um, I don't blame anybody for taking that, but you got to understand that the bias is down, get out. When look, price is just held right there. So if you draw this channel, maybe you don't take that. And I think when this ends up with a tail on it, I think you got to exit immediately. So anyway, maybe the better long here is right here. When you get like an overshoot of this channel, could you consider that? I think you can consider that. You get a gap above the EMA here, so maybe you take this higher low. Boom, we get it. It's kind of flat right here. Uh, can you consider this? I mean, I'd probably think we're going to get a second leg down after this, and we get it here, and it just doesn't turn out to be a good place to go long because there's no real setup. Um, and I mean, honestly, look, we just turned down at the midline right here. We had two legs up. I'm not, this isn't a bad place to consider going short and go for the measured move of this bar. But again, you got to get out with the small loss after you get four dojis. But anyway, this is a good one, a good entry right here, and it turns out to be an excellent move all the way to the top of the range. I think you can consider going short. Problem here is that in this bull market, I'm about to delete that because in this bull market, that's scary. So I think you gotta at least go for 2-1 risk reward there due to the low probability. You know, and this thing could just take off and just create a new high on the day. But I mean, maybe you consider that. We chop here. Um, there's a lot of overlap in here, so I don't like this lower high bounce. You're just getting chopped up here. I don't like anything in here. We bounce right here. There's a bunch of dojis in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So maybe you buy with a limit order down here. Um, consider it. And then you get kind of a range in here. It takes a while to take off. And maybe you take this lower high. I think you can consider, I mean, you could probably consider this up here because this is clearly like, a few pushes up. Doesn't really look like a channel to me. So yeah, I mean, it looks like it could be an overshoot. I'd probably have this drawn like that. So I think you can think about this one. Uh, this turns out to be, this does turn out to be a bear channel. So you do get what looks like a two-legged pullback here. I think you're risking it to go off in the middle of this range that we've been in all day. Going short right here, I think is risky. I don't think you want to take that. And that's really pretty much it for the rest of the day, unfortunately. Um, so that's how I saw it. Here's how the week shaped up. Still a bull body, but there's finally some selling up here. And here's how May is shaping up. So yeah, we could get, this could turn out to the last 2 weeks of May. Yeah, we could continue higher. We could continue breaking out to the high side, but this is a level of resistance, the way I'm seeing this chart. Um, and therefore, I wouldn't be surprised if the last couple weeks of May we sell off and create like a bear reversal bar. So anyway, one last look at it. Hope everyone had a good day. I'll be back Monday.